sports. It's in the game.
Somebody stop me. Stop me. Stop me. Please, somebody stop me. Stop me. Stop me. Oh, somebody stop me. Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me. Stop me. Stop me. Stop me. And Lord, if I'm doing
hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. I'm too, on one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my third shift, I'm a boy, so, boy, and I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Ooh, right now, I got you. Right now. Nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. Yeah, I'm too up, brown, blue up, cop the new.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the San Francisco 49ers and the Atlanta Falcons. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Now, Barney!
They'll set up to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here. The opening drive couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Pass incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
But they took the shot, didn't get it, and there's definitely a difference here because they had a chance to get 7, maybe 8 if they pushed it. Instead, they'll likely settle for 3.
Yeah, opening drive, holding him to 3. Psychologically, maybe a win for the defense. And Lambeau will put this one through, and the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. They go play action here on 1st down. And his first look is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. That'll be caught by Rice. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
What do you need? What do you need? Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Move it up,
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
This is taken at about the 14. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
stepping up. He's going to keep it. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. This is Breida. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now they'll throw, and Garoppolo throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
21.
They come out here in the eye. Now a toss play. It's Breida. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Niners have taken the early lead. And he puts it through. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Watch him now, Barney!
On 3rd down, it's Hunt. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. 56.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, hurry.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. He had over 100 catches in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of this wild card game. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
No. Check. Patriot.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
They'll drop the throw. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves them with a 1st and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Back to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are in for 6. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And the lead is now 10-7. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yard your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
12, fellas, here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Gets this one left side to Pettis. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run with Breida. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now it's Breida. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
12. 2.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10.
11. Go ahead.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good, and that will knot us up at 10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Gone!
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
It's our time. Detroit! Detroit! Mike 27, Mike 27, Mike 27. You can't block me. Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Gun, 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 gun. No, check, Patriot, Patriot.
They'll set up a throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And the 49ers going to take another timeout as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Gun, 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 gun. Detroit, Detroit. Detroit, Detroit. Gun, 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 gun. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Hot. Check right, 27. Hot.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
That's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
13.
Garoppolo on 1st down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the Niners get there and bring him down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. He'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And, oh, look at that, a diving catch. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Lucky 56. Detroit! 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 Go! 25! Check 25! Check 25! Sponge!
Back to throw now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete on the deep ball.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Gun! 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 Gun!
They're going to look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
13! 13! Wait, 20! Wait, 80! 21, 21.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Throw left side, completion to Rice. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, one of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter three.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Breida. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run again with Breida. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. Man open, Rice. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
13. 6. Go ahead.
On first down, Garoppolo. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't it?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
6.
Garoppolo now. For Kidder here, it's complete. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. Garoppolo, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center eligible stuff. But still, a lot of guys to account for.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
6.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
He'll get it up the middle. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Dante Pettis from 10 yards out. And the 49ers have moved out in front. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete a run like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get out.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll set up to throw. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. This quarterback now 9 of 17 through the air.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now back to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Solomon Thomas in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He's going to float this one deep right. And this is taken in at the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And his throw here is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The Falcons on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Black 99 Philly. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So on now is the kicker, Josh Lambo. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10.
11. 1 Omaha. Black 80. 180.
Play action. Garoppolo. He'll buy some time right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
180. 120. Go ahead.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Here we go. 80.
Garoppolo again. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Go ahead. 2.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch you now, Barney. Barney. Watch the edge. Yes.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he stopped immediately there. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it's 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Another incompletion would certainly be ideal defensively. A big play now. This is 3rd and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They'll start on the ground with Breida. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. The Niners on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5.
13.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Give him 30 yards there.
That gets them the 1st down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10.
Hey, gun. 21. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. He's back to throw. Rolling to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
11. Go ahead.
He'll look to throw. Sheds off the tackle. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. 23 yards on the play.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Here we go. Ready? Make it go. 21.
Back to throw. Flush to his right. Throws right side, and that's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Go ahead.
To throw is Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to do with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that. Yeah, there was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though.
Go ahead. 11.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And that last penalty makes his 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. Garoppolo to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The intended target was Chris Godwin. And now it's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now it's Hunt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
11.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead 2nd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
3rd and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a first throw here in overtime. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A huge play there in overtime. 64 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. They run with Hunt, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. The quick slant cut. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. And Charles, on the losing side of things, you know, they didn't come in here as the favorite to these playoffs, but they came in with a lot of hope and anticipation. Tough to have that all snuffed out so quickly.
It really is. You're one of 12 teams when the playoffs begin that still has a chance to win the Super Bowl. So that's pretty darn good. And as you often talk about, a lot of hope when the playoffs start. Well, that ended for them. But when they look back, they'll have a lot to be proud of and see if they turn the page towards the next season.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.